Sat Shri Akal. Yeah, that's how we're kicking off this deep dive. Not just, a casual hello. It's a declaration, really. Aims right for the core of, well, everything we think is real. Because Sat Shri Akal isn't just words. It's a profound statement, you see. It reveals a pretty radical truth. Only the deathless is true. Everything else, it's false. Now, hold on. That's a pretty big claim, isn't it? Everything else is false. I mean, it challenges how we see everything, what we hold on to so tightly. Just think about it for a second. What in your life, right now, feels completely solid, totally dependable? Yet how often does that same thing just slip through your fingers like sand? Is it that ambition you're pouring everything into? That relationship? Maybe that shiny new phone? We spend so much energy collecting these things, these experiences, all this stuff that, let's be honest, has an expiry date stamped right on it. We build our whole lives around things that, well, if they're born in time, they're doomed to fade out. Die, basically. There's a huge irony there, don't you think? Chasing forever and things that are just temporary. Like shadows trying to grab sunshine. It's kind of funny, actually.
And that really hits the nail on the head. Like, that's where the traditional understanding, the Sikh context of Sat Shri Akal gets its real depth. It is a powerful greeting, yes, and a spiritual affirmation, often translated, truth is eternal, or true is the name of the timeless one. But the words themselves, Sat means truth. Reality, the fundamental essence. Shri is about reverence, greatness, and then Akal. That's the key bit here. It means timeless, eternal, undying, beyond time, beyond death. So yeah, this interpretation, only the deathless is true, everything else is false, it lines up perfectly. It resonates with the deeper philosophical views, especially Eastern ideas about impermanence. If it's stuck in time, it can't last. Simple as that. And what's really fascinating about Akal is the word itself. It has kal inside it. Kal means time, but also sometimes it means death. But stick that prefix on the front and boom, no time, no death, Akal. It points directly to something transcendent, right? And a non-temporal essence, an everlasting reality or spirit that just isn't part of the whole birth, decay, death cycle. It's that timeless being people talk about, fundamentally beyond all that.
Okay, so if Akal points to something beyond time, beyond death, what about our minds? Our minds, I mean, the way we usually experience them, they're all about time, aren't they? Measuring, calculating, remembering the past, worrying about the future. Tick-tock, tick-tock, it's a function of time. A slave to it, you could say. So how on earth could this time-bound thing, our mind, ever get a handle on the timeless, the eternal? Well, it's absurd when you think about it, like trying to measure infinity with a ruler. Or, trying to catch smoke with your bare hands. Just impossible, right? Trying to find the eternal in time, forget it.
Right, and that leads to the big question, doesn't it? If the mind, this time-bound tool, can't directly grasp it, how do we even get a taste of the eternal? Well, some sources describe it beautifully. It's like the pause between two notes, absolute silence. It's in that gap, that moment of pure awareness, pure silence. It's when the usual mental chatter just drops, and you get that first taste of your real being, a glimpse of pure awareness. The ego kind of fades out for a second.
And that is where things get really interesting. That glimpse, once your consciousness, your awareness slips just a little bit beyond the temporal, beyond the clock, then it naturally transcends death too, because death is also part of time, right? You don't just believe it anymore, you know it experientially. You realize, I don't die. The real me doesn't die. And that's not just some nice idea. It's a certainty that lands deep inside. And that certainty, it changes everything, your whole pattern of life, your attitude, your whole approach. Suddenly the fear of death doesn't have the same grip, the obsession with temporary stuff. It starts to look a bit silly. Okay, but how? How do you actually get that glimpse, that direct knowing? Well, imagine there's this, let's call it a quirky window, a window into the soul's endless story. We're talking about past life regression, PLR. It's a method, yeah. A practical technique that can offer this peek behind the curtain where maybe for the first time ever you experience directly, hey, I don't die. Something in me goes on. It gives you that personal insight into your own immortal nature.
Exactly. And past life regression, fundamentally, it's a technique. Often uses guided meditation, sometimes light hypnosis. The idea is to guide someone to access, well, let's call them subconscious memories or impressions, experiences that feel like they're from previous lives. Now it's less about proving historical facts, was I really Cleopatra, and more about tapping into this feeling, the sense of a continuity of consciousness. And while some traditions, like Sikhism, really emphasize focusing on this life's practice, the idea of reincarnation, the soul moving through lives, that's definitely there in many Eastern philosophies. The soul, Atma, Jiva, is seen as eternal, taking different forms. So through PLR, people sometimes report understanding current problems better, seeing maybe karmic roots. But it's really important to say there's a lot of debate, skepticism too. You get scientific critiques calling it pseudoscience or saying it's just the power of suggestion. And some spiritual views even say, look, it's a blessing we don't remember past lives. It keeps us focused. Still, experientially, for some people, it can be that window. It offers that felt sense that something continues.
Right, so if this window can potentially show us something so huge, then here's the million-dollar question for us, for you listening. If PLR lets you, let's say, revisit these other lives, walking around ancient Rome or maybe being a simple farmer somewhere else, then what part of you is actually doing the walking? What part persists through all that?
Yeah.
And what exactly dies? And this brings us right to the core, the central point we want to unpack today. There's a massive difference in how people approach PLR. There's the, let's call it the common, limited view. And then there's what we're going to argue is its real power, its lethal purpose.
Okay, so the limited view, that's mostly PLR in a therapeutic setting. It's used to try and get insights into problems you're having now, recurring patterns, emotional stuff, maybe relationship issues, even phobias sometimes. The thinking is, if you understand a supposed origin in a past life, you can resolve the issue today, get some psychological relief, maybe some healing.
Yeah, and look, maybe that helps sometimes. Untangles a few knots, offers a bit of comfort, sure. But it's still playing within the same old sandbox, isn't it? It's operating within the framework of fixing the temporal self. It's like polishing the brass on the Titanic. You're still focused on fixing up this personality, this temporary identity. It's kind of, well, childish games in a way when you see the bigger picture.
And like you touched on earlier, this therapeutic angle is exactly where a lot of the skepticism comes in. Is it real memory? Is it fantasy? Is it suggestion from the therapist? The scientific community is generally pretty doubtful. And again, some spiritual traditions actively discourage digging into past lives, saying it's a distraction from your present path and duties.
Okay, but then there's the other purpose, the true, original, and frankly, the most potent reason for exploring this, PLR, for enlightenment. This approach, and you see in the work of practitioners like Semaji, it's not about tinkering with your personality. It's not about fixing your little problems in this life. No, it's about getting direct, undeniable, personal, experiential proof that your consciousness, it transcends death, period. And that realization, that's why we call it legal.
Yeah.
Absolutely destroys the fear of death, obliterates it. And let's be real, that fear of death, it's the bedrock, the foundation stone for probably 90% of human anxiety, attachment, clinging, all the illusions we get tangled up in. We spend our lives building these crazy defenses against an enemy that, for our true selves, doesn't even exist. Oh yes, keep fearing death like it's the big bad wolf while ignoring the wolf within that's already eternal. It's hilarious, really. Imagine death knocking at your door and you just laugh. Sorry, pal, wrong address, I'm timeless. That's the shift we're talking about.
So when you use PLR with that intention, what do you discover? Going back to that core question, what dies, what doesn't? Well, what dies is pretty clear. The body, obviously, it's seen for what it is, a temporary vehicle, bound by biology, time, decay, like a suit of clothes, really. The soul wears it for a while, does its thing, and then discards it. Also, what dies is the ego. The home, as some traditions call it. That false sense of I that's tied only to this specific life, this identity, these particular memories, these attachments, these desires. That specific I just crumbles. It dissolves with each physical death, and naturally all the stuff tied to that life fades too. The relationships, the job, the house, the achievements, all the temporal illusions of that one chapter, gone.
Hilarious, isn't it? We spend so much time mourning the mask, polishing the mask, while the actor just carries on, ready for the next scene.
Exactly. Because what doesn't die, what persists totally unchanged at its core, that's the true self, the timeless, deathless consciousness, the soul. It's the observer, the witness that watches these lives unfold like chapters in a never-ending book. It remains whole, untouched, birth after birth, death after death. Experiencing this directly through regression just hammers home that truth. Your essential being transcends death. Only the costumes and the roles change.
And crucially, this isn't about adopting a new belief system. It's not philosophy class. It's a direct glimpse, a personal realization. It makes all those grand ideas about eternity suddenly tangible, real, undeniable for you. And that, my friends, that is liberating, seriously liberating. It completely flips your approach to life. You stop frantically trying to collect more expiring toys in this temporary world, and you start, maybe calmly, maybe intensely, seeking the eternal truth that's already right here inside you. So as we bring this deep dive to a close, I'm not going to wrap it up with neat little answers for you. Instead, think of this as some sparks. Sparks to maybe light your own fire. What does Sat Sri Akal mean to you now? Still just a greeting? Or maybe a wake-up call. A nudge towards something ancient sleeping inside you. Are you still mostly busy collecting stuff with an expiry date? Or
Are you maybe feeling a pull towards realizing that part of you that was never born, the part that will never die? Because true freedom, it seems pretty clear, doesn't come from getting more stuff in a world that's guaranteed to disappear. It comes from realizing that timeless core within.
So let these ideas rattle around. Let them sit with you. Maybe they annoy you. Maybe they amuse you. Hopefully they provoke you a little. Keep asking the questions. Keep laughing at the absurdity of it all. Keep seeking. Sri Akal, what will you discover today?